Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Austin, and today we're just going to be sitting back and talking about the movies that have come out so far in 2020, which has been completely different than we initially anticipated, and just my thoughts on the films that have been released thus far. Welcome once again, my name is Austin, and this channel is all about digging deeper and going further to better understand faith and film and everything that's in between. If that sounds exciting to you, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. I put out a new one every Friday. Coming off of the incredibly impressive year of 2019, there was some really cool movies we were initially anticipating, most of which have now been delayed to 2021, but we've still gotten some decent films. I want to go through quickly the few that, well, more than a few, the ones that I have watched so far and what I've thought about them. Before I give you mine though, share down below, what's your favorite movie so far that's been released this year? I'll share my top 3 at the very least. I'm excited to see what other people have picked because I've not had a chance to see everything that's come out this year, which is funny to say because not a lot has come out. But without further ado, let's get started. First, as far as movies that I got to see in the theater, I was able to see Birds of Prey and The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn and The Invisible Man, which are two that I very much enjoyed. I had a really good time with both of these. Invisible Man is probably in my top 3, if not my favorite movie of the year so far, and I absolutely loved what Leigh Whannell did with this film. I cannot wait to see what he does next. As far as Birds of Prey, I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's kind of a mixed bag. There's a lot of really good stuff in it. There's some mixed stuff that doesn't totally land, and it came out to kind of mixed reviews, but overall positive. I'm definitely on the positive side of things though. Next, there's actually 3 of the Netflix released films. Well, there's more than 3 Netflix films that have come out this year, but I've only watched 3, and that would be Extraction, which was a decent action movie. Chris Hemsworth, really cool in the movie. Some really cool, well done, well choreographed action stuff. Spencer Confidential was also okay. I mostly really liked it because of Mark Wahlberg, but again, for some reason Netflix just can't nail their movies. It's really hard for them to just go past okay or good, like to go just great. But there is an exception, and I personally absolutely really loved Da 5 Bloods. I had not had a chance to check this one out until more recently, but after watching it, really liked it, and I've been recommending it to a lot of different people. I really like what Spike Lee did with it. The only other movie of his that I have seen is Do the Right Thing, but I really liked the way that he approached the themes on racism in the movie, as well as PTSD when it comes to soldiers and what they went through, specifically in the Vietnam War, and just the brotherhood that comes out of that, no matter what you went through. I really enjoyed it, really liked the movie. Some great action scenes, some good comedy, great banter, and camaraderie amongst the main characters. If you've not seen Da 5 Bloods yet, it's a bit of a heavy one, but it's really good, and I definitely implore you to check it out. The most recent 2020 movie that I checked out was Sonic the Hedgehog. We had a couple of my wife's cousins' kids over and had a sleepover with them not too long ago, and we redboxed the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which they had already seen, but we needed a movie that they would enjoy. And that was the one of the most recent films to come out that I was most interested in seeing, mostly because of all the controversy that was around it when it was first announced and the teaser trailer came out and just got ripped to shreds by the fans. And I have to say, it was definitely worth the rework, the time that they put in fixing the movie. I will say, and I know this is kind of ridiculous, but like, it was definitely still very obvious that Sonic was an animated character, and you could see a lot of the like edge line blurs of where he was pasted in. I noticed it quite a bit. I don't want to knock it too much because he's obviously an animated character that's dropped into it, but I mean, the characters interacting with him, played by humans, did a really good job. It was very believable. I had a lot of fun with the movie. It wasn't absolutely amazing, but it was definitely a good video game adaptation movie. Onward is another one that kind of had a little bit of a theatrical one, but I didn't catch it until it hit Disney Plus. I loved it. I loved it. My wife thought it was okay, but I absolutely adore fantasy, so the mix between like the Disney Pixar fantasy stuff was amazing. I Really liked it. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland have great chemistry. Their characters are really good. The world that they live in is incredibly fascinating and something I immediately wanted to know more about. So Onward is one that I really enjoyed as well. Next, a couple of movies that actually went right to streaming. I don't know if one of them was initially going to go to theaters, but I know for sure another one was. But the one that I'm not sure about is The Vast of Night. This is one that Amazon picked up. I believe it was going around some film festival circuits, was received very well, and before it could really take off, Amazon snatched it with everything going on, shutting down theaters. But this is a very basic setup of a story. There's nothing extremely glamorous or mind-blowing about it, but it's, from what I know, the director's directorial debut in like a feature film like this, and I feel like they did a really good job. I mean, it has its problems. It's definitely very much of a niche film. If you're not into the kind of style that it is, you're probably not gonna love it. But I had a really good time with it. So if you do have Amazon Prime, check this one out. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because it's a fun one to go into blind, but know that it's a little bit different, a little quirky at times, but if you're willing to sit with it, I think you'll really enjoy it. Lastly, this has probably been my favorite movie to come out so far this year. This makes the total of 9 movies that I've seen this year, and that is Palm Springs. This is one that I'm pretty sure was going to go to theaters, but Hulu picked it up with everything going on, and popped that one up on there not too long ago. Myself and my wife watched it. She liked it from what I remember. I loved it. It's definitely one of my favorite movies to come out so far this year. I don't know if it's just because of the quarantine and staying at home kind of thing that we have going on right now, for the most part, that it just brought me a comfort, but I loved it. I thought the comedy was great, the acting was really good. Obviously, main character Kristen Milioti, she plays the mother in How I Met Your Mother, so I got a little sweet spot for her, but I thought she did a really good job. The chemistry between her and Andy Samberg is great. They're so much fun to watch on screen together, and as you wrap up towards the end of the film, I won't spoil it here, but like, it really drives home some really interesting, really compelling messages and themes that I did not expect to be left thinking about. There was a few days after I watched this movie that I was thinking about it, and it's not something I expected from a comedy like this one. So if you have Hulu and have not checked out Palm Springs yet, definitely check this one out. It is absolutely worth your time. If I were to pick top 3 of my favorite movies from this year, it was really close between Onward and Da 5 Bloods, but I gotta go with Da 5 Bloods. It definitely hit me on a deeper level. I obviously really relate to Onward and the brother relationship that is there, but I have a huge respect for war films, and I thought this one was just so well done and conveyed. That's been definitely one that hit my top 3 of favorite movies of this year so far. Number 2, I'm gonna put Palm Springs there. Definitely unexpected, but really I just loved what they did with the movie. Really well done, really great comedy, all that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned, Invisible Man is my favorite movie to come out so far this year. I am a huge Leigh Whannell fan. I haven't seen all of his movies, but I cannot wait to see what he does next. And anytime I check out one of his films, it makes me want to look at his backlog. So that's probably my top 3 movies of 2020 so far. Thanks for kind of indulging me on this. I've been exhausted from traveling, and work has been crazy lately, so I've not been able to put as much effort as I would have liked into my videos. I have a really cool idea for a video game that I want to talk about that I recently beat that I want to be able to put my all into, and I haven't had my all to be able to put into it yet. And I know it's been a couple months now since I've done the Lord of the Rings update, so I want to jump back into Lord of the Rings as well. So next week we're gonna do a Blu-ray haul, and then going after that, I'm hoping to get that video game video up, and then also we'll jump back into Lord of the Rings with the Two Towers where we left off. So thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of an update. Don't forget to comment down below with your favorite movies of 2020 so far. So thank you once again. I will see you in the next video.